Hi there, and welcome to this week's Easter edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be having a look at a tremendous 7-race card at Fanny Bay this Thursday, March the 29th. Due to the effects of Cyclone Marcus, Thursday's meeting will feature an expanded card with the Shenanigans St Pat's Cup and the Weight for Age Sprint being added to the day, as well as the 0 to 58 1200. It should make for a great day's racing. Today we'll be having a chat with informed jockey Felicia Bergstrand, currently leading both the Territory and Top End Premierships, and the winner just last Saturday of her 200th career success aboard Cleese in Alice Springs. Felicia, many congratulations on your 200th win on Cleese for one of your great supporters, Kevin Lamprick. It must have given you great satisfaction to get the milestone for Kev, with whom you've now combined for some 29 wins and 51 placings from just over 200 rides.
Yeah, Kev's been really good to me since the day I started riding for him. He's looked after me, been very loyal, and I really appreciate that, and I couldn't be happier.
Alice is certainly the place for milestones, with Carl Spry riding his 500th career win aboard Heart of Red there just 5 weeks ago. You seem to enjoy a good deal of success in Alice Springs.
Yeah, I've got a fair few trainers down there, or actually pretty much all of them offered me rides, and I couldn't thank them enough. They've all been looking after me. There's a fair few, I can't even mention one, but I'm grateful.
We'll now take a look at your 6 mounts at Fanny Bay on Thursday, starting with Western Port in the day's opener, the 0 to 64 1300 metres for Cherie Lawler.
Yeah, I thought his run last start was very good. He hit the line really well, and he could have gone into 58, but I think the 1300 probably suited him better, and there was a few horses that dropped out of that race too, so I think he's a very good chance.
You ride Annabella for Bob Richard in the second, the 0 to 58 1200.
She's been a little bit disappointing out of late, and if she gets back to her old form, I think she should be a good chance. She's up in distance to 1200, which was what she won over last prep in. So she's had a massive spell, and she might just have needed a couple of runs to get back to her own self. But hopefully she'll improve.
You can have a rest in the third, and your next ride and a leading contender comes aboard Bartender Man for Cherie Lawler in the fourth, the 3-year-old and maiden 1100 metres.
Yeah, he's a consistent horse. He always tries. Even though he's still a maiden horse, he's definitely a trier. Obviously, last meeting there was no 3-year-olds in the race, which would probably suited him a little bit better. I know there's a few good 3-year-olds in there now, but I still think he'll run a cheeky race.
You have another ride for Cherie, with whom you've established a good association with lately, aboard You Want in the 0 to 70 1100.
Yeah, not last start, the start before, I thought he ran a really cheeky race. He just faded a little bit the last 200 in the last start, so we dropped back in distance, which might suit him a little bit better, so hopefully he can improve.
The sixth race is the Feature St Pat's Cup, and you're on one of the leading chances, Phil Cole's Commissar, who will be chasing his 4th straight win.
Yeah, you wouldn't judge him on his track work. He's not a track work horse at all, and every time I come in I'm quite disappointed with the way he's galloping, but he seemed to, every race day he puts in, it's definitely a harder race than the horses he's been against before, so got 2 of Gary Clark's horses in there, Windfowler for Pat Johnson, so it's definitely a harder task this week, but if he puts in the way he has lately, then I definitely think he's a chance too.
And completing a busy day for you, your ride in the last, the benchmark 54 mile, is on another Coltrane runner, Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, I didn't think he ran a bad race last start. Down in grade now, so I think he just faded the last little bit, last 300 I think in that race. So down in grade and might have a little bit more fitness on his side. So yeah, I think he can run a cheeky race too.
After no racing in the top end for the last 4 weeks, everyone is looking forward to Thursday's meeting, which has attracted a very healthy 59 acceptors. In the first, my numbers are 5, 4, 2 and 1. It's a 0 to 64 over 1300 metres. I'm going with number 5 here, Dream Passage, to be ridden by Vanessa Arnott, and this one trained by Tayan Holter. I think the 1300 metres will really suit this little horse. It was 1200 metres last time, got to the line well and finishing third, and gets an ideal opportunity to break through here. In for second, number 4, Western Port, racing consistently for Cherie Lawler and Felicia Bergstrom takes the mount. My third selection is number 2, Captain Apollo, another consistent type from the Gary Clark stable. Brendan Davis aboard, and in for fourth, number 1, Zocalis. 5, 4, 2 and 1. In the second, it's the 0 to 58 over 1,200 metres, and my numbers are 6, 4, 3 and 1. I've got 6 on top here. Let's Celebrate. Probably at a bit of better odds for the Gary Clark stable. Brendan Davis in the saddle, but I didn't mind its first up run here on the course. That was back on the 24th of February, and I think with even luck will be there when the whips are cracking. Number 6 on top for me, ahead of number 4, Exert, from the Jason Manning stable. Vanessa Arnott in the saddle. I've liked its last couple of runs, and I think it can be right there at the concluding stages. In for third, number 3, Mavericks from the Carl Spry stable. Carl also takes the mount. And in for fourth, number 1, Wisen Up. Those numbers, 6, 4, 3 and 1. We move to the third on the card, and it is the Veiled Stephen Painter Weight for Age. We lost one of our great trainers here from the top end last week in Steve Painter, and this race is named in his honour. My numbers in race 3, the weight for age over the 1,200 metres, are 5, 4, 6 and 3. Neat Feet on top for me, number 5. Brendan Davis, Gary Clark, they could be in for another very successful day. Racing well since he came back to the top end is Neat Feet, getting ready for an assault on the Pioneer Sprint in Alice Springs, and I see no reason why he can't take this out on Thursday, the weight for age. Got him on top, number 5, ahead of the stablemate, number 4, Kiss the Condor. Good run behind Neat Feet last time out, and he'll be there for certain over the concluding stages. In for third, number 6, Your Excellency. The weight for age conditions certainly suit him better than in a handicap. And in for fourth, number 3, Hook Me Up. 5, 4, 6 and 3 in the third. In the fourth, it's the 3-year-old and maiden plate. It's over the 1,100 metres, and my numbers are 4, 2, 1 and 8. He created a very big impression, did number 4, Grammar Boy, in his first start on the track for Gary Clark. Brendan Davis was aboard that day. He takes the mount again. Certainly looks like a possible Guineas and Derby horse for the Darwin Cup Carnival, Grammar Boy, and I think he'll be winning this, even though the 1,100 metres probably on the short side. I've got him on top at number 4. Ahead of number 2, Bartender Man. As Felicia Bergstrom said earlier, he's a very consistent type. He's still a maiden, but he never goes a bad race, and he'll be there or thereabouts. In for third, number 1, Baggins for Gary LaFoe Jr. Fresh up today, Paul Shires aboard. He'll give them a good side out in front for a good part of the journey. And my fourth selection, the newcomer, number 8, Desiree. 4, 2, 1 and 8. In the fifth, it is the Galway Gal handicap, and it's the 0 to 70 over the 1,100 metres. My numbers are 3, 1, 5 and 6. Putting number 3 on top here, Killam. Very good when winning here at the last meeting in the hands of Wayne Davis, who takes the mount again. Kerry Petrick puts the polish on Killam, and the 1,100 metres, I think, right up his alley, and he'll take a power of beating number 3, Killam, on top for me. Ahead of number 1, El Toronado, to be trained and ridden by Carl Spry. Good run when resuming last time out, or actually his second up run it was, and I think he'll be a leading chance. In for third, number 5, Woogie. She's a bit of an enigma, but on her day, she's very tough to beat. Hopefully it's one of those go days for Woogie on Thursday. And in for fourth, number 6, King Kazoo. The numbers 3, 1, 5 and 6. In the sixth, the Shenanigans St Patrick's Day Cup. It's $40,000, of course. Wasn't run on St Paddy's Day due to the cyclone, but it's on this program. 40,000 up for grabs, and a good 8-horse field assembled for the feature. My numbers 3, 1, 4 and 6. I'm going with Commissar. Felicia Bergstrom takes them out for Phil Cole. He's looking for his 4th win in succession, Commissar. The 1,600 metres might stretch him a little bit, although he has won at the trip. But this is a pretty tough race that he's facing. But with even luck, I think he'll be right there over the concluding stages. Number 3 on top for me, Commissar. Ahead of number 1, the Gary Clark trained at One Faster, Brendan Davis aboard. He was good last time, winning over 1,300 metres. He has a decent form over the 1,600 metres, and even though with top weight, I think he'll be very, very tough to beat. In for third, number 4, Hammered Art for Carl Spry, trains and rides. The 1,600 metres will suit him. And in for fourth, number 6, Win Fowler. His form lines are brilliant, and we can't leave him out. 3, 1, 4 and 6 in the feature. And in the last of the day, it's also over the 1,600 metres for the Benchmark 54 Gallopers. My numbers are 2, 4, 1 and 3. I've got number 2 on top here, Rock Miati, looking to complete a pretty good day's racing, I think, for Cherie Lawler. And Barry Huppets takes the mount on Rock Miati. last 3 runs have been really good. He was a winner 3 starts back, and then his last couple have been consistent as well. And no reason why Rock Miati can't be right in the picture here. In fact, she's a mare, Rock Miati, and I've got her on top. Number 2, ahead of number 4, Unsullied. The 1600 metres last time was to his liking, and I think it will be again. Stephen Riddler for Gary Clark. In for third, number 1, He Says So, having his second start in the top end for Phil Cole. Jared Todd travels up from Alice Springs to take the mount. And my 4th selection, number 3, Geronimo's Son. 2, 4, 1 and 3 in the last. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, but we'll leave you with our best bet of the day. Comes up in race 5, number 3, Killam. Race 5, number 3, Killam. And the best roughie, that's in race 2, number 10, Merveille. Race 2, number 10, Merveille. We'll be back again prior to our next meeting, which is set down for Friday, the 6th of April. In the meantime, good luck and good punting.